they won't make a very difficult question from this portion. They will only ask either a 1 mark or 2 marker question from this portion. I mean, from the first three exercises. Now, before we move further, if you have any doubt in the exercise 9.2 and 9.3, please feel free to ask. You may have, I mean, you may have faced some difficulty in exercise 9.3 because there were questions which were basically word problems. So they will tell you that we want to find a differential equation for this family of curves. Now you should know what is that family. Like they will give you, we want to find a differential equation for this hyperbola or this ellipse. So if you are able to identify if you're able to write the equation of those curves, in that case, you will be easily able to form a differential equation also. So the only problem that you can face is that we don't know the equation of this curve, right? So in all those cases, please feel free to reach out to me if you have any problem and solve these 9.2 and 9.3. It will only take half an hour, not more than that. Okay. Both, I mean, I'm considering both exercises, not the thing, not, you won't take 30 minutes each. You will take 30 minutes to solve for both of them, right? So it's an easy exercise. Please try to solve that. Shallow then. Now we will move on to the main part of this chapter or the main topic of this chapter, which is how to solve differential equations. Right. I mean, in my time, a question of 6 marks used to come from this chapter and 6 marks for solving a differential equation. Now there are three methods to solve. I mean, uh, in our syllabus, there are three methods through which we can find out the solution of a differential equation. But before that, we need to understand what kind of, I mean, there are many types of differential equation, right? I told you in the beginning that differential equation is a very vast chapter. You will be studying this in your, I mean, postgraduate, up to postgraduate courses, right? So differential equation has just started. It will come in undergraduate as well as postgraduate syllabus. Undergraduate, though, it will be like, I mean, there will be 4 to 5 chapters depending on differential equations only if you are taking any science related courses. So differential equation, I mean, there are a lot of types of differential equation. So first we need to understand what kind of differential equations are we solving, right? So this, I mean, our syllabus in this 12th class up to NCERT level is this only first order, first degree differential equations, which are the easiest differential equations. So we'll be first studying solution of first order, first degree differential equation. So the main topic of discussion is first order, first degree. We won't go to second order. We won't go to second degree. Okay. So we will only be considering first order and first degree differential equations. So I will give you some examples, although you know what kind of differential equations are these. But by first order, we only mean that we won't take any term higher than dy by dx. Dy by dx is the highest order term of derivative. It means that there will be only one derivative present. I mean, there will be only one type of derivative present, which is dy by dx. Right? So I'll give you some examples for this. Like, for example, this. This is a first order, first degree differential equation. So only dy by dx will be used, and the power of dy by dx will also be 1, not more than that. Okay. So this is the first order, first degree differential equation. Then this can be, this can also be a first order, first degree differential equation. No, if you notice, see, we have only used one derivative, and that too with the power 1. This can also be your differential equation, right? So all these forms of differential equation are first order and first degree. This is the most basic differential equation, right? I mean, this is the first step only. First order, first degree. We can either increase the degrees or we can either increase the order, right? So there are various combinations, but we are only talking about the most simplest one right now. So we will be talking about first order, first degree differential equations. Now, there are three methods to solve first order, first degree differential equation. Actually, there are more methods, but in our syllabus, up to NCERT, up to CBSE, there are only three methods which will be solved to first order, first degree differential equations. So obviously, the questions will be from these three methods only. I mean, there are other methods as well in solving first order, first degree differential equations only. But those questions will not be in our syllabus. Those questions will be in the syllabus of JE, by the way. Okay. Okay, so let's start with some basic ones first. So, okay. So let's start with the first one, and which is a pretty basic one also. This is also the easiest method among all three. Just give me a minute. Yeah, shallow. So let's start with the first one, which is D with variable separable. So the first method is basically variable separable. This method is known as variable separable. Now, as the name itself suggests, the meaning of this, I mean, what in this method, what we will be doing is we can easily separate x and y. Variable separable money, you will be able to separate the variable. You will be able to separate the variable. Okay, let's understand this. Let's try to figure this out. First, with a few examples, okay? Then we will come to the, I mean, general definition and everything. Okay. So let's take this example first, which I have written x upon y. Now remember a few things. Okay. To solve this, to solve a differential equation, we need integration. Definitely integration. Okay. Without integration, we will not be able to solve even a single differential equation. So to solve a differential equation, we integrate the equation. Okay. Now, how to integrate the equation? This is a very tough task. This is the main problem. How to integrate the equation? So we can easily integrate the equation if, okay, now बहुत ही इजी कॉन्सेप्ट है, बट मेरी बातों को ध्यान से सुनते हुए चलना है, ठीक है सभी लोगों को. We can easily integrate the equation if we can take all the y with dy. We can take all the y with dy and all the x with dx. Please, please listen to me again. We can easily integrate a differential equation if all the terms of y, all the terms of y, whichever term has y, can be taken with dy, and if all the terms of x can be written with dx. अगर आप पूरा का पूरा x वाला इक्वेशन जो भी x के अंदर है वो सारा का सारा dx के साथ ले जाओ, और पूरा का पूरा y वाले टर्म्स जितने भी हैं, 1 2 4 6, वो सारे y के टर्म्स dy के साथ ले जाओ। अब जो dy के साथ लिखा हुआ है उसमें x नहीं होना चाहिए। Whatever expression is written with dy, that should not contain x, and whatever expression is with dx, that should not contain y. If you are able to do that, it means that you have separated your variables x and y, right? And as soon as you are able to do that, you can solve the differential equation. Okay. Now listen to me. जो भी मैंने theory समझाई, whatever theory I have discussed, what is how to do that? Like in this case, if you observe, we have on one side we have dy by dx, on the other side we have x upon y. So what am I doing is I'm taking dx to right hand side, I'm taking y to the left hand side, right? So it can be written as y into dy is equals to x into dx. Yeah, sorry. So in this case, you can easily observe that we can take all the y with dy, all the x with dx. Now, this term, dy wala term does not contain any x, and dx wala term does not contain any y. If we are able to do this, it means this is of variable separable form. This is considered as variable separable form, right? Now, let's take one more example. So we have dy by dx is equals to x plus y divided by x minus y. इसको करने का कोशिश करो, try this. Can we variable, I mean, can we separate the variable here, x and y both? I mean, can we take x with all the x with dx and all the y with dy? You guys should try this. You have 1 minute. Please try to figure out whether we can do this or not. Yeah, correct, Shaviz. We will not be able to do, I mean, separate x and y here. Okay, let's try this. Chalo, मैं x minus y, I have taken this x minus y to the left hand side, and I have taken this dx to the right hand side. Now you can clearly see with dy, there is a term x. There is a term of x. We don't want this, right? And with dx, there is a term of y. So we thought, let's solve it more. Maybe we will be able to separate them. But if you reach here, you can easily see we have a problem with this term as well as this term. We don't want x with dy and we don't want y with dx, right? And you won't be able to solve them. You won't be able to separate them even. So in this case, can't separate the variable. In fact, whatever I have written here, na, these are, sorry, here, these are three different types of differential equations that will be used in your syllabus. I mean, these three equations are basically three methods. They will use three different methods to solve the differential equation. So this one is variable separable, this one is homogeneous, and this one is linear differential equation. All three are different, right? But right now, because we are studying the first form, this one was from the first form. Dy by dx is equals to x upon y. Yes. So did you understand how does how may variable separable form look like? In variable separable, the first thing is that we take all the y with dy and we take all the x with dx. So with dx, there will be no term containing y, and with dy, there will be no term containing x. This is the first priority of variable separable form. Now, if you are able to do this, like if you're able to reach up to this point, then it is very easy to solve this kind of differential equation. We will simultaneously discuss how to solve this. Okay. But before that, let's first talk about the general equations of variable separable. So generally, variable separable equation will look like this. One side there will be a dy by dx, and other side there will be a function which contains x and y. On the right hand side, there will be a function which contains x and y. But this function has a very unique quality in this, that this function can be separated out. You can take two functions from this. That is, you can combine the function of x and you can also combine the function of y, and they are separable with each other. They are separable from each other, right? So your right hand side wala function can be okay. In this first example, observe in this first example, this gx, that is the function of x, is x, and the function of y is y, 1 upon y, right? So we can always separate x and y. It means that we can write this right hand side wala function f of x comma y as gx into hy. इसका मतलब ये है, ये देखो, ये जो मैंने अभी लिखा है, इसका मतलब ये है कि मैं x का एक अलग फंक्शन बना सकता हूँ, y का एक अलग फंक्शन बना सकता हूँ, जबकि इस वाले केस में नहीं बना सकता था मैं, सेकंड वाले केस में. It is not possible to make a separate function for x and y in the second example, but it is definitely possible in the first example. In the first example, your gx will be x and your hy will be 1 upon y. But in the second example, you won't be able to do this. So what we are saying is that in variable separable, the right hand side wala function should always be such that you can separate x and y from it, right? So this function dy, I mean this differential equation can be written as gx into hy. And now you can take all the x with dx, you can take all the y with dy. So dy upon hy is equals to gx into dx. All the x with dx, all the y with dy. Now simple, you integrate this equation, both sides. Integrate both sides to find the solution. सिंपल यार, दोनों तरफ इंटीग्रेशन लगा देंगे और सॉल्यूशन कुछ ना कुछ मिल जाएगा। ठीक है, चलो अभी शुरू करते हैं एक दो क्वेश्चन से। कुछ नया कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है, बस तुम्हें ये समझाना था, छोटा सा फॉर्म। कोई कुछ नहीं करने की जरूरत है, टेंशन लेने की जरूरत ही नहीं है इसमें। लेट्स ट्राई टू सॉल्व with a few examples we will be able to solve variable separable. This is the easiest form, as I said. हाँ, आपको इंटीग्रेशन जरूर याद होना चाहिए। इफ यू फॉरगॉट इंटीग्रेशन देन द प्रॉब्लम। सॉरी, क्या? So before we move to the questions, I would like to tell you one thing about how to make command in differential equation, or how to get hold of this chapter. First thing is that you should be able to identify which form of differential equation this is. Either it is variable separable or the other two. Abhi, we haven't discussed the other two, so I am not talking about them. So because we have only discussed variable separable, so you should be able to identify which form is variable separable. Is this variable separable? So in every question that we solve from this point up to the last question of differential equation, I'll be asking you this question. In every question, I'll ask this. Okay? Remember this. I'm gonna ask this in every question. So you have to identify, because if you're able to identify the differential equation, half of the job is done. Similar to if you're able to draw the figure in area between the two curves, if you are able to draw the figure there, and if you're able to draw the correct figure, then half the job is done. You will be, I mean, more sure that now I can find this answer. Uh, exactly the same thing here. If you are able to identify the differential equation, so half of the job is done. Because there are three methods. ये पूरा mechanical process है. This is just like a mechanical process. We will tell you the steps to solve each kind of differential equation. Like in variable separable, very easy. Actually, no steps. You just have to figure out whether you can separate the x and y from each other, right? As soon as you are able to do that, you will be able to also solve the question. चलो, तो सबसे पहले यहाँ पे यही बात शुरू करते हैं। इज दिस वेरिएबल सेपरेबल? हमें कैसे पता चलेगा इज दिस वेरिएबल सेपरेबल और नॉट? हमें पता चलेगा इफ वी आर एबल टू सेपरेट x from y. So this is a function right now. This is your f of x comma y, right? Can you write this f of x comma y as gx into hy? That is, gx is a pure function of x and hy is a pure function of y. Gx is purely a function of x and hy is purely a function of y. So are we able to separate this? X plus 1 upon 2 minus y? Bilkul. This is just x plus 1 and this is just 2 minus y. There is no involvement with x and y. I mean, I can write this function as gx will be x plus 1, right? And hy will be 1 upon 2 minus 1. So It means that we can separate x and y. It means that we can definitely separate x and y. Okay. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आइडेंटिफाई, क्या हम सेपरेट कर सकते हैं एक्स और वाई को? सबसे पहले यही काम करना है। अगर हम कर सकते हैं तो सबसे इजी क्वेश्चन है वो हमारे लिए, क्योंकि अभी बाकी बचे हुए दो फॉर्म्स भी हम पढ़ रहे होंगे। बट इफ वी आर एबल टू सेपरेट दिस एक्स एंड वाई, then this is the easiest form of differential equation and this can be very easily solved. Chalo, now take all the y with dy and take all the x with dx. Always take dx and dy as the numerator. भाई हमने इंटीग्रेशन में भी देखी थी ये चीज कि कभी भी dx और dy डिनोमिनेटर में तो थे ही नहीं, है ना? डिनोमिनेटर में अगर है तो कैसे इंटीग्रेट कर रहे होंगे? तो ऑलवेज टेक dx and dy as the numerator only, like this, like I have written. I mean, don't take dy to the right hand side and x plus 1 to the left hand side, right? So 2 minus y into dy is equals to x plus 1 into dx, right? Now I can integrate both sides. Integrate both sides, right? If I integrate both sides, so right now this is a indefinite integration because we are not given any information other than this. Okay, so this is an indefinite integration which can be solved pretty easily क्योंकि ये expressions बहुत ही common है। चलिए करते हैं इनका इंटीग्रेशन। हाँ जी, इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ 2 with respect to dy, this will be 2y minus integration of y with respect to dy, y square by 2 is equals to, प्लस एक कांस्टेंट भी आएगा। ओके, बिकॉज दिस इज द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन आई एम गोइंग टू सॉल्व इट, कांस्टेंट ऑफ इंटीग्रेशन is equals to, now let's integrate x plus 1 with respect to dx. So integration of x square by 2 plus integration of 1 x plus k2, another constant of integration. This k1 can be taken with k2, so this will be written k2 minus k1, which will be another constant. So rather than writing constant on both sides, we only use one single constant. किसी भी साइड यूज कर सकते हो, लेफ्ट हैंड साइड या राइट हैंड साइड, आप इट्स योर चॉइस, बट यस, this is the general solution of given differential equation. The general solution of given differential equation. And you can see that this was the first order differential equation, right? So there is only one arbitrary constant used. We don't need these two arbitrary constants actually. You can write this k1 and k2 separately, but ultimately k1 is also a constant, k2 is also a constant. So if you take k1 to the right hand side, k2 minus k1 is another constant. So we only need one constant to represent this, not two. This is how we can solve a variable separable form pretty easy. Just separate the x from y, take all the x with dx, take all the y with dy, integrate both sides. You know the basic integration. Integrate and find the answer. Now, first of all, please feel free to ask your doubts. If you haven't understood any step or if you are facing problem, difficulty in any step, then please feel free to ask that. Then we will be solving some questions so that we get better in this. Okay. In that case, let's move on to a different question. And so this is the question: dy by dx is equals to root over 4 minus y square. Now we need to check whether we can separate x from y. Anji, yes or no? Can we separate x from y? Before you answer that question, my question will be, is there any x here? No. Then why are we even asking about whether we can separate x from y? This is already separable because there is no x involved. So we whatever is written, we can take all of that with y because this is a function of y. So we can write this as dy by root 4 minus y square is equals to dx. क्योंकि यहाँ पे x और y एक दूसरे के साथ इन्वॉल्व ही नहीं है, मतलब सिर्फ y का फंक्शन है, तो ये तो बहुत ही इजी है, हम इसको पूरा का पूरा y के साथ लेके जा ही सकते हैं. एंड नाउ यू कैन ऑल्सो इंटीग्रेट बोथ साइड. लेफ्ट हैंड साइड को इंटीग्रेट कर रहे होंगे तो फॉर्मूला लगेगा. We know the integration of these types. We have written some particular function which resemble the same, right? Anji, what's the integration of this left hand side wala part? Anyone? Okay. सबसे पहले ही आ गया. सी यहाँ पे भी मैंने बताई थी ये बात. देखो साइन इनवर्स एक्स बाई है, dx अपॉन रूट ए स्क्वायर माइनस एक्स स्क्वायर इज साइन इनवर्स एक्स बाई ए. तो हमने सारे कट कर लिए थे. जस्ट सो यू रिमेंबर दिस इज सी dx अपॉन रूट ओवर ए स्क्वायर माइनस एक्स स्क्वायर साइन इनवर्स एक्स बाई ए. बट ये तो थोड़ा याद करने पड़ेंगे यार. This is a is what? 2. 2 square minus y square. So this would be sine inverse x by a minus sine inverse y by 2 is equals to x plus c. Sine inverse of y by 2 is equals to differentiation, sorry, integration of 1 into dx will be x plus c. So you can write this as y by 2 is equals to sine of, if I take sine to the right hand side, this becomes sine of x plus c. Hence your y can be written as twice of sine x plus c. This is your final answer. Guys, this is easy if you observe. चलो ये वाला करो. Now you guys have to try some questions. Dy by dx plus y is equals to 1. All of these forms are variable separable. Remember this. You just have to find out how. Anyone able to solve it here? Okay. You are not able to separate the variables. In that case, you should first take y to the right hand side. ऐसे हमेशा एकदम से नहीं दिख जाएगी. You won't be able to spot it. I mean, every time you won't be able to spot it very quickly. Sometimes you also have to modify the equations and then you will be able to see it. So in this case, you can see that if you take y to the right hand side, then this becomes 1 minus y, which is again a variable separable. How? You take this as 1 minus y upon 1. So this 1 minus y will come in the denominator and this will go in the numerator. Now this is variable separable. Integrate both sides and find your answer. So please write in the chat box the answer for this. Okay. Solve this further and find me the, I mean, tell me the final answer. And then also solve this fourth question. See, it is also not written in the variable separable form currently, but definitely we can write it like, I mean, we can separate this x and y. Okay. So we can use variable separable here, but try to use this. This will be a good question. Okay. So you have 2-3 minutes and solve this. Also tell me the answer for third part in chat. Hello. Am I audible, guys? Guys, am I audible? Okay. Is there a solution for question number one yet? Now question number one is pretty easy, so I think you should be able to solve that. Just a minute. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, is there any answer for question number third? Sorry, I was not able to hear you. अच्छा, ठीक है, ठीक है, करेक्ट है। बस प्लस सी और लगा दे, है ना? ठीक है। और इसको ना हम कन्वर्ट भी कर सकते हैं। रादर देन लॉग वी कैन ऑल्सो टेल दिस आंसर इन ई टू द पावर समथिंग। तो जनरली ना, आर प्रायोरिटी शुड बी टू गिव एन आंसर इन द फॉर्म ऑफ y इज इक्वल्स टू समथिंग फंक्शन। मतलब आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट इफ यू गिव एनी अदर आंसर देन इट वुड बी रॉन्ग, नो, बट आर प्रायोरिटी शुड बी दिस, शाबाश, कि हम y इज इक्वल्स टू x की फॉर्म में कुछ आंसर दे। चलिए खैर, कोई नहीं, आई मीन दिस इज ऑल्सो ओके। नाउ ट्राई टू सॉल्व फोर्थ। या सो दैट्स ऑल। थर्ड क्वेश्चन, इसमें तो कुछ है ही नहीं अभी। थर्ड वन इज प्रिटी सिंपल। If I integrate dy upon 1 minus y, so this is an integration of log, right? This should be log of 1 minus y. तो But because the coefficient of y is -1, so I'll have to apply, I'll have to divide this with -1 is equals to integration of 1 with dx would be x plus c. Acha. Chalo, let's check fourth one also, Shavis. तो ये ऐसे हो जाना चाहिए और -1, if I take this -1 to the right hand side, then this can be written log of 1 minus y is equals to minus times of x plus c. Now I can convert this in the form of e also. So this will be 1 minus y is equals to e to the power minus of x plus c. So y is equals to, this can be the complete answer. This is also the right answer, but that is what I was telling Chavez, that we should always try to write y in terms of x. Tharif, आंसर तो करेक्ट है फोर्थ का, बट आंसर इज एक्चुअली वेरी करेक्ट. But let's see how should we solve it. तो सबसे पहले तो we have to apply variable separable. For variable separable, let's take one term on the one side and second term on the other side, so that we will be able to clearly judge which term should be which side. है ना? So I'm writing this as sec square x tan y dx is equals to minus times of sec square y tan x dy. Now let's consider the terms with which we have a problem, right? So for example, in the first term, we have a problem with tan y. Why is tan y here? Sec square x dx is cool, but we don't need tan y on this side, no? And similarly, we don't need tan x on the right hand side. So let's exchange them. How would we exchange them? This will go in the denominator and this will also come in the denominator. So this will become sec square x dx divided by tan x is equals to minus sec square y divided by tan y into dy. Now, is it correct? Is it variable separable? We can say it variable separable right now. Yes, definitely, because all the x is with dx and all the y is with dy. Now integrating both sides. ठीक है जी, कर देते हैं integrate. कैसे करें इंटीग्रेशन? हरीफ बताएगा कैसे करना चाहिए इंटीग्रेशन? If you observe, then left hand side वाला function and right hand side वाला function both are similar. So if you know how to solve the left hand side वाला part, you also know how to solve right hand side वाला part. Chavez, how to solve this? Chavez or Tharif? Hanji, how did you solve it?
Can we do substitution?
Yes, definitely. And what should be the substitution here? Like for left hand side? Not sec square x, tan x. Yeah. So take tan x as t. If you take tan x as t, then differentiation of tan x is sec square x into dx will be equal to dt, which is your numerator wala part. Hence, similarly, you can take tan y as z. In that case, sec square y into dy will become dz, right? So your this whole part becomes, this sec square x dx becomes dt and your tan x becomes t. is equals to, this is minus times sec square, oh sorry, this is not dx, this is actually dy. So the sec square y dy becomes dz, and then tan y become z, right? So this can be written, this is nothing but log of t is equals to minus times log of z plus c. So this can be taken to the, we can replace t with tan x plus log of tan y is equals to c. Now can we combine them? Yes, definitely. So this will become log of tan x into tan y is equals to c. So this will become tan x into tan y is equals to e to the power c. Okay, let's write it as c1. E to the power c1. Now what is e? A constant number. What is c1? A constant number again. So e to the power c1 is again a constant. So rather than writing that constant as e to the power c1, you can only write the constant as c, because this is again a constant only. But Chavez, it is also correct. It's not like this is incorrect. But yes, we have to solve the question up to the part where we can get y in terms of x.
Oh, sir.
Yeah.
So in
Yes,
the
sir.
third one,
Hmm.
differentiation, sorry, integration of log of 1 minus y,
Hmm.
there is no c there, sir.
No, we have C. This is the C.
Okay, so you took that side.
We can take any side. Whatever side you want, you can take that C. You can take that constant on that side. हम हमेशा ऐसी
So
तरफ
like
चाहेंगे जहां से
22
हमारे लिए
constant
क्वेश्चन,
side.
मतलब हम हमेशा ऐसी तरफ चाहेंगे जहां से हमारे लिए क्वेश्चन और आसान हो जाए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल देख, इस वाले केस में मैं, फोर्थ वाले केस में मैंने सी को राइट हैंड साइड पे लिया, क्योंकि मुझे माइनस वाला एक्सप्रेशन में लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे ले आऊंगा तो एक तरफ कांस्टेंट बचेगा, एक तरफ पूरा एक्सप्रेशन हो जाएगा. ऐसा सोचते हुए मैंने ऐसा लिख दिया. बट ये कंप्लीटली हमारी चॉइस है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा उससे. तो किधर भी मान, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा उससे. कभी भी आंसर में तो चेंज हो ही नहीं सकता कुछ भी. उसकी वजह से आंसर पे तो कोई इंपैक्ट पड़ेगा ही नहीं, मतलब ये तो डेफिनेटली 100% ट्रू है. हाँ जी. डिड यू गाइस अंडरस्टैंड वेरिएबल सेपरेबल? प्लीज रेज योर हैंड्स. डिड यू गाइस understand variable separable? Did you find it easy? And I want the raised hands in the answer. I mean, either raise hands or no. Okay. Okay. And what about Humamuddin and Tarif? Okay. Humamuddin, easy नहीं लगा वेरिएबल सेपरेबल? ये सबसे इजी है बाय द वे. मतलब अभी तो जो भी दो पार्ट इसके आगे आने वाले हैं, हाँ यस, यू कैन डाउन द हैंड. अभी तो जो भी दो पार्ट इसके आगे आने वाले हैं, वो दे विल बी टफर देन दिस. But this is the easiest one, क्योंकि we only have to apply integration. We just have to take care first of all whether we can take all the x with dx and all the y with dy. If we are able to do that, the next thing is that we have to integrate, right? और इंटीग्रेशन हमें आता ही है. अगर इंटीग्रेशन सही से हो जाए तो कोई दिक्कत ही नहीं है, फिर तो आंसर्स हमें मिले ही हुए. बट यू कैन सी दैट वी डोंट हैव टू डू एनीथिंग एक्स्ट्रा इन दिस पार्ट. I mean, all the things you are doing, the first thing that is to separate the variable is just modifying the equation or just simply solving the equation only. Okay, cool, Himanti. Cool, cool, cool. So ये तो मतलब इसमें तो हमने कोई एक्स्ट्रा वर्क किया ही नहीं. There was no extra work involved. Why am I saying this? See, we have done integration. right? We have integrated both sides. But that though needs to be done for every differential equation. Every differential, for finding out solutions of a differential equation, you have to integrate the differential equation. मतलब ऐसे समझ सकते हो that how did we reach to differential equation from the general solution or from an equation? By differentiating, है ना? So let's say we were at one, that is we were at a equation, and from that equation we reached to point 2 which is a differential equation. तो हम इक्वेशन से डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन तक गए, right? Let's say the equation is at point 1 and the differential equation is at point 2. Okay, and how did we reach from point A to point 2, point 1 to point 2? By differentiating. We have observed this, I mean we have done this in the last class, formation of a differential equation. How did we form a differential equation? By differentiating. So definitely, if you want to reach to the original equation from the differential equation, that is you want to reach point 1 from point 2, reverse process. What should you do? Integration. इसमें तो कुछ सोचने वाली बात ही नहीं है। मतलब अगर एक पाथ पे मैं डिफरेंशिएशन से पहुंचा हूं और मैं वापस जाना चाहता हूं तो इंटीग्रेशन ही अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा, दोनों एक दूसरे के रिवर्स प्रोसेस है, राइट? So integrate, so you will have to do in every differential equation question. You haven't done anything special. That is why I told you that this is the simplest differential equation that possibly exists. Sometimes you may not be able to identify the equation. This can happen, but I would say that this should be the main task. So do you, every one of you have NCERT right now?
Yes, sir.
सभी लोग एनसीईआरटी फटाफट से एक बार निकाल लो. इफ यू हैव एनसीईआरटी प्लीज टेक इट आउट. There is a short practice. This will be happening for every exercise. I mean, every topic in this chapter. Short practice of you understanding the variable separable form today. I'll show you each question from exercise 9.4, and you can see that we can easily separate out x and y in every question. And we also have to solve two more questions. I mean, two word problems from this chapter. Abhi, we will solve this, but first let's come to exercise 9.4, page number 395. Shahid, class will be up to 8:30 today. Is that okay? I mean, 10 more minutes, 10 to 12 more minutes. Okay. And also, you guys will be having a test from variable separable today. So please attempt that test before leaving the class. Hanji, can we start? Chalo, first question. Okay, so what is the task? The task is to find out, to identify whether the given equation is a variable separable or not. So see, every equation is variable separable here. वो तो कोई बात ही नहीं है, सारी की सारी वेरिएबल सेपरेबल है. बट आई वांट यू गाइस टू आइडेंटिफाई दिस. हाउ वुड यू आइडेंटिफाई? नाउ लेट्स कम विद मी, लेट्स सॉल्व a few questions with me. Let's see my thought process, and then maybe you will be able to resonate with that and answer these questions. So I'll see first question first. Dy by dx is equals to 1 minus cos x upon 1 plus cos x. Do everybody, I mean, any one of you don't have NCERT, please raise your hand. I will write the question for them. I'm saying this. If all of you have NCERT, then that's very good. Cool. ठीक है, फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. dy by dx is equals to 1 minus cos x upon 1 plus cos x. तो what I will see is, अच्छा सबसे पहले मैं हिंदी जितने बोल सकते हैं उनके लिए बताता हूँ. यार मैं बहुत ही सिंपल सी चीज ये चेक करने वाला हूँ. मैं पूरा का पूरा मैं दो ही टर्म में रखूंगा पूरे क्वेश्चन को. एक टर्म लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे होगी, एक टर्म राइट हैंड साइड पे होगी. अगर ऐसा नहीं है, जैसे कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल फोर्थ क्वेश्चन में दो टर्म दी हुई है मेरे को, तो देखो मैंने फोर्थ ही क्वेश्चन अभी हमने सॉल्व किया बाय द वे. फोर्थ क्वेश्चन में देखो मैंने सबसे पहला काम क्या किया था, मैं एक टर्म को राइट हैंड साइड पे लेके चला गया था. तो सबसे पहला काम ये होना चाहिए कि दो ही टर्म होनी चाहिए भाई, एक लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे एक राइट हैंड साइड पे. ठीक है. Austin, what I was saying is that only take two terms. For example, in first question, there is a term on the left hand side which is dy by dx, and there is a term on the right hand side which is 1 minus cos x upon 1 plus cos x. But definitely there are only two terms, right? One on each side. If that is not true, then I will do this. I'll form this. How? See question number 4. Sec square x tan y dx, which we have just solved. In this case, there were two terms, but both on the same sides. So what was the first step that I have done? I have taken, you can see that, yeah, I have taken one term to the right hand side. So ideally, to start the question, I will take, I will only have two terms. See, in this case, we didn't have two terms. We had three terms. In this case, we had three terms. What did I do? First, I took y to the right hand side so that I can see 1 minus y as a whole and dy by dx as a whole. Yes.
Sir, here we are finding general solution.
Yes. General solution of variable separable form.
Yes.
I mean, particular solution and general solution both will be done in the same way, Shavis. I will solve, as I said, कि हम अभी दो और word problem solve करने वाले हैं. So one word problem is related to your particular solution only. And then word problem is a very important word problem which has been asked in the previous years also. So one is that, but one is related to particular solution only. But don't think that particular solution has another way of solving. No, the same way of solving. जो हम कर रहे हैं बिल्कुल वही करना है, कोई कुछ अलग काम नहीं करना. छोटी सी चीज बस बाद में जाके अलग हो जाएगी एंड में एकदम आंसर. ठीक है, वो मैं बताता हूँ. सो द फर्स्ट टास्क इज वन टर्म ऑन ईच साइड. ठीक है, इफ दैट इज डन, सेकेंड आई विल सी whether I can take all the y with dy and all the x with dx or not. Okay, like in first question, the right hand side is 1 minus cos x upon 1 plus cos x. All of the term contain x, right? This whole term only contains x. It means definitely separable. Y है ही नहीं, कोई problem ही नहीं है. If there is no y, then there is no problem. If there is no x, then there is no problem. In that case, so we can always separate x and y, right? So in first part, dy by dx is equals to 1 minus cos x upon 1 plus cos x. We can easily separate dy with all the y. There will be no term with dy actually. And dx we can take to the right hand side and then we can easily integrate. Second we have already done. Third we have already done. Fourth we have already done. Fifth one, Anji. Fifth one. Will we be able to separate x and y? Essay quickly. Solve it in your mind. Don't use pen. Please, 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 please. Don't use pen. Put your pen on the study table or whatever you are having. No, don't use pen. Solve it in your mind. Formate the expression with me. Okay, let's come to fifth. First, I will write it as e to the power x plus e to the power minus x into dy is equals to e to the power x minus e to the power minus x into dx. So this whole term of dx will come to the right hand side. Then I will take e to the power x plus e to the power minus x from left hand side to the right hand side. Now you can see all of the dy and I mean all of the x is with dx and there is no term with dy. Did you guys understand this fifth part? Fifth part will be something like this. Now that's a different question, how to integrate this. Easy है, कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है, but हाँ. But fifth will be this. dy is equals to e to the power x minus e to the power minus x upon e to the power x plus e to the power minus x. And now we can integrate this. हाँ जी. Sixth, can we separate x and y? Sixth. Now you should answer this. These things. Yes, definitely. How can we write it, Chavis? मेरे को फाइनल फॉर्म बताते चलो सबकी. Tell me the final form, which like I have written. That has to be integrated. वो final form. हाँ जी. For sixth, what is the final form? Final form माने all the y with dy and all the x with dx. Don't write it in the chat box, please, guys. Just say na whatever you want to say. Open your mic and just say it. What will be the final form in sixth? Oh my God. अच्छा, ज्वाइन तो तूने दो अलग अलग डिवाइसेस से करा हुआ है। माइक एक से भी नहीं, वाह। वाह मेरे शेर। हाँ चलो, शेर वाले मीम्स नहीं चल रहे बहुत इंस्टा पे? वही शेर है तू। शेर के फोन में माइक तो है बट शेर यूज नहीं करता। ओके, सिक्स पार्ट, डी वाई अपॉन वन प्लस वाई स्क्वायर।
Can you hear me?
हाँ हाँ बोल।
Sir, it's dy by 1 plus y square is equal to dx into 1 plus x square.
करेक्ट। सेवेंथ। एनीवन? सेवेंथ, y log y dx is equals to x dy. Take all the x with dx, take all the y with dy. Anyone? Seventh? Austin, will you try? Or Shahid? Yeah, please, Austin. Dx upon x is equals to dy upon y log y. No?
Sir, it's correct.
Yes, dx upon x is equals to dy upon y log y. This is correct. Okay, next one. This is the pretty easy. Eighth, x to the power 5 dy by dx is equals to minus y to the power 5. Yeah, these are very quick questions. मतलब बस तुम लोगों को आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए मैं
Sir,
ये करा
can I
रहा
tell?
हूँ, सॉरी। हाँ हाँ बोल बोल।
Minus dy by y the whole raised to 5 is equal
हम्म
to dx by x the raised to 5.
करेक्ट है। नाइन्थ भी इजी है। टेंथ वाला बता दो चलो फटाफट। सॉल्व दिस टेंथ। तो ई द पावर एक्स dx अपॉन वन माइनस ई द पावर एक्स, ये सारा एक साथ हो जाएगा। और tan y sec स्क्वायर y वाला पार्ट पूरा एक साथ dy के साथ चला जाएगा, है ना। इजीली हो सकता है और ये काम। इट्स नॉट अ टफ जॉब। Okay, let's solve question number 17th. Let's solve question number 17th. Find the equation of a curve. Okay, and this is also a question of particular solution. So, in cases of particular solution, basically, फटाफट easy, I mean, फटाफट quick, very quickly also identify these. Okay, come to question number 11 to 14. है ना? In all of these questions, you have been given a differential equation to solve, and after that, you are given some additional information. Like in question number 11, you are given y is 1 when x is equals to 0. Y is 1 when x is equals to 0, right? So first of all, a particular solution will also be find out in the same way as your general solution. Okay. Now, what happens in particular solution is, okay, particular solutions में ना, you can find this C. Like in this case, when you have answered, your answer included C, constant of integration, right? But in particular solutions, you can always find out the value of this C. How? Like in 11th question, they have given you y is equals to 1 when x is equals to 0. So this will help you in finding out the value of C. You will put the value of x and value of y to find out C. So you will put x as 0, y as 1, right? And then you will be able to find out the value of C. This is how, this is how it helps in making a particular solution from general solution. बट पर्टिकुलर सॉल्यूशन और जनरल सॉल्यूशन कुछ अलग नहीं है भाई. फाइनल आंसर में आपको एक कंडीशन दे दी जाएगी. यू विल बी गिवन अ कंडीशन इन द फाइनल आंसर so that you can find out the value of constant. Like y is equals to 1 when x is equals to 0, it means that put x 0, put y is equals to 1 to find out the value of C. Simple. Nothing fancy. Nothing at all. तो कुछ है ही नहीं, कोई अलग कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है. बस यू विल बी गिवन अ कंडीशन, बाउंड्री कंडीशन. You put that condition, find out the value of constant and give the answer. Shallow then. Let's solve question number 17th as I said. Find the equation of a curve passing through origin, given that at any point x comma y on the curve, the product of the slope of its tangent and y coordinate of the point is equal to x coordinate of the point. Guys, do you know the slope of its tangent? ये जो word लिखा हुआ है यहाँ पे, slope of its tangent. Do you know about the slope of a straight line? We definitely know about the slope of a straight line. I have told you. But do you also know the formula for slope? So slope have two formulae. One, you can write the slope of a line if the angle of that line with x-axis is given to you. But right now we haven't talked about any kind of angle. So slope of its tangent mane, slope is basically dy by dx. If you remember, I have told you in straight line how to find out slope. आप देखना जाके, हमने we have discussed the how to write a differential, I mean how to write a straight line equation. So in the straight line equation, the right hand side part was this, y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. What is this? Change in y. And what is this? Change in x. Del y upon del x. So we were basically calculating change in y with respect to change in x. What is dy by dx? Change in y with respect to change in x. So your slope is basically written as your slope can be written as dy by dx. So always remember the slope of the tangent, dy by dx. Shall now let's come to the problem first. So we have to find the equation of a curve which is passing through origin. That is, this curve satisfies x is equals to 0 and y is equals to 0. X is equals to 0 and y is equals to 0 is the solution of this curve. Okay. Now the curve is passing through this origin, and given that at any point x comma y on the curve, at any point x comma y on the curve, let's say this is the point x comma y on the curve. You can take any point on this curve and consider that point as x comma y. Then the product of the slope of its tangent, it means that if you draw a tangent on this point, this tangent, right? If you form a tangent on this point, then the product of the slope of its tangent, slope of its tangent, product of slope of its tangent. Now, what is the slope of its tangent? We already know slope of a tangent is dy by dx. Okay, I have written that, right? So, product of slope of its tangent, that is dy by dx, into product y coordinate of the point y. Okay, so we are saying that consider a point x comma y, draw a tangent on this point x comma y, right? Now we are telling you that one condition is true. What is the condition? Condition is product of slope of its tangent. Okay, slope of its tangent means dy by dx, and y coordinate of the point. Y coordinate of the point is y. Now the product of both of them is equal to x. This is the condition given to us. So by word problem, you will have to reach to differential equation yourself. That can be a problem here. I mean, the only problem in word problems is that you have to form the differential equation yourself with the given conditions. Right? Now it can be easily solved. This is not a very tough question. Integrating both sides. तो ये हो जाएगा y square by 2 is equals to x square by 2 plus c. This is the general equation of, or sorry, this is the general solution of the given differential equation, given question. But now the equation of the curve is passing through 0, 0. It passes through 0, 0. It means that you put x is equals to 0 and y is equals to 0 to find out the answer for C. Okay, if I put x is equals to 0 and y is equals to 0, then 0 is equals to 0 plus C, which means what? C is 0, constant of integration is 0. Hence, you can find, you have found the particular solution for this equation. The particular solution for given problem is, you put that C is 0 in first. Let's name this equation as first and this as second. So use second in first, put C is equals to 0. Your equation is y square is equals to x square. कुछ अलग नहीं करना है भाई लोग, पर्टिकुलर सोल्यूशन निकालने के लिए वही काम करने का है, कुछ नया नहीं. Okay, please write this 20, 21, 22. You have to complete the whole exercise by the next class. And please note that 20, 21, 22, all three are good questions. There are also, ऐसा नहीं है questions are not good. All the questions are good. But these three problems, please solve them. Please solve the whole exercise by the time you come in the next class. Okay. And feel free to ask your doubts, because we will be starting the new method of solving differential equation in the next class. And possibly we will try to cover two different, there are two methods left. So possibly I will try to cover both of them in the next class. So please be present as well as solve this whole exercise. And I'm writing this as the homework. Okay. Chalo, please attempt the test. I'm leaving, but you all have to attempt the test now. And if you have any doubt, please ask.